Profitability of a beverage business. Hello everyone, this is Jess Alcaraz. I teach people accounting, business, and financial literacy concepts. And for this video, we will be doing some computation on the profitability of a beverage business. So merong nag-message sa akin asking for help kung kumikita ba daw yung business nila o hindi. Because they have been operating since last year. And until now, they are experiencing yung pag-aabono. Okay? So, yung operation nila is not sustainable. Kaya, from time to time, if they need restocking, kailangan na naman nila kumuha from their own savings and inject it into the business. Aside from the restocking, sometimes din daw, they have to inject additional capital if merong nasisira or may mga repairs na ginagawa sa tindahan nila. So, I ask for some details, specifically the monthly fixed cost, selling price, and then the product cost. Good thing is they were able to provide the selling price and then the product cost kasi maraming businesses na they have been operating for several years pero hindi nila alam or wala silang ginagawang costing. So at the very least, itong si ma'am or si sir, meron silang product cost. The concern lang is that yung fixed cost daw nila is paiba-iba. Kasi meron daw months na marami silang binibili and meron din daw months na mababa lang yung restocking. So I immediately told them na hindi kasama ang restocking. So walang kasama yung supplies and inventory because those are considered variable and not part of the fixed expenses. What I need ay fixed cost like salaries, rent, tubig, kuryente, yung mga ganon. And then another thing that I have asked them is the sales mix. Okay. For those na hindi alam ang sales mix, the sales mix is a percentage of a certain product contributing to the total sales. So kunwari si product A, yung monthly sales niya is 20,000 pesos and then yung total monthly sales is 100,000 pesos. It means na si product A contributes 20% to the total monthly sales. 20% is the sales mix percentage of product A. So initially, wala daw siyang idea. Hindi daw niya alam yung percentage, yung exact percentage. But fortunately, meron siyang nalistang number of units na nabebenta nila per month. So it's in units and not in peso. So I just multiplied it by the selling price kasi tatlong product lang naman. So madali lang siyang i-compute. What else? Ayun, binigyan niya din ako ng fixed cost for salary, kuryente, tsaka tubig. And then I went on to do some computations and gave him the computations later and some insights as well. So in this video, I'll be walking you through paano ko ginawa yung computation and I'll be sharing my insights then on the status of their business and possibly mga course of action na pwedeng gawin in order to improve the business. So without further ado, let us go into the discussion. Okay, so this was the data na binigay niya sa akin about the product cost and the selling price. So we have three products. Product A, B, and C. And selling price are the following, 79, 89, 99. I think the rationale in the pricing is just variance kasi ito ng sizes eh. And I think the rationale behind the pricing is just adding 10 pesos for every variant. And then the product cost, of course, meron, I will assume na maayos na costing yung ginawa. So, ito lang yung binigay and I was the one who computed the markup kasi madali lang naman. So, if you notice, merong blue screen dito. It's actually a shape covering some of the items in this illustration. I already made some computations via Excel so that hindi na ako magko-compute manually using calculator. So first na kinompute ko is the markup. For those na hindi pa alam kung ano ang markup, the markup is simply the difference in terms of peso between the selling price and the product cost. So 79 minus 48, that's 31. 89 minus 62, 27, 99 minus 69 minus 30. If you notice, A is the cheapest one among the three, 79 pesos. Pero siya yung may pinakamalaking markup sa tatlo. Product B has the lowest in terms of peso value. But then again, in trying to make sense kung ano yung pinakamahal na product or yung product that brings in the most money, don't look at the peso value. Because whether maliit yan or malaki yan will depend relative to its selling price. That is why it's important na compute natin yung margin in determining such thing. Okay? For example, ang ginawa natin to compute the margin, for those of you na baka bago pa lang sa page ko, markup divided by the selling price. So, ang ginawa natin dito is 31 pesos. Natangkapal. Palitan natin. Ayan. So, 31 divided by 79. So, lalabas na yung sold. Ayun. So, lalabas na si 39.24%. So, I have pinakita ko up to the 2 decimal places for the percentage para mas maganda. So, if you notice, product A has the highest margin. Kumbaga, for every peso na mabibenta natin, 39.24 cents will be returned sa atin. So, mas malaki yung kinikita natin for every sale that we make for product A. For product B and product C, even if product C is more expensive than product B, it gives almost the same profit margin to us. So for every 1 peso of sale sa product B, it returns 30 cents. And for C naman, it returns 30 cents. So product A is the most profitable in terms of margin alone. Okay? But then again, in spite of determining kung alin yung may pinakamalaking margin, it is still not enough. Doon papasok yung hinihingi kong data on sales mix. Oops. Ano ba to? Okay. Sa sales mix naman, ang binigay niya sa akin is the number of units sold last month. Okay? So, for product A, merong 168 units. Product B, 115. And for product C naman, 80. Total of 363. So, I will not be using the proportion based on the unit. So, hindi ko siya ginawa using 188 divided by 63. Not that one. I have to multiply it by the selling price para yun yung gagamitin ko for the sales mix. So, considering that the selling price are the following, so we will be able to determine magkano yung sales per product and the sales then for the entire month. Ayan. Product A, 13,000. Product B, 10,000. Product C, 7,000. So, if you notice, product A has the highest margin and also has the highest sale. So, hindi na tayo magtataka that in terms of the weighted average contribution margin, ba tayo? Oops, paano ba to? Okay. So, in terms of the weighted average contribution margin, sir, paano kinuha yung WACM na yan? So, I just took the margin here, 39.24, and then I multiplied it by the sales mix. So, para makita ko yung solution, it's like this. 39.24% So parang 29% times 42.23% equals, yan, sold. 16, tama ba itong pagka-sold niya? 24, 16, okay. Ni-round up na lang niya to 16.6. But if you will be using 2 decimal places, it's 16.57%. So I did the same with product B, ito, multiplied by this one, and then product C multiplied this and this one. So I will be arriving at the individual weighted average contribution margin, A, B, and C. But then again, we're not yet done. The next thing we do is we will be adding. So add natin tong tatlong to arrive at the total weighted contribution margin. Sir, bakit natin kinumpute yan? Kasi since the business has multiple products, in computing for the break-even point, hindi tayong pwedeng mamili lang dito. Okay? As much as possible, in order to be more accurate, we have to factor in the margin, the weighted contribution, the sales mix, and then the weighted average contribution margin per product, and then i-add natin. So lalabas si 34.04. Pero kung medyo hassle na siya and you want to be more conservative, just use the product with the lowest margin to make it more conservative. Hindi siya masyadong accurate, but that's conservative. And when I say conservative, yung break-even point na lalabas dyan is the highest. So if yung benta mo is beyond that break-even point computed using the lowest margin, then relatively safe yung operation ng business mo. Anyhow, going back. For computing the break-even point, we will be using the 34.08%. Delete na natin to. Okay? They also gave me their fixed cost, salary, kuryente, tsaka tubig. If you notice, walang rent. So, I would assume na sa bahay lang nila yung sila nagbebenta. They also don't have expenses related to taxes. Okay? So, baka mayroon pang expenses na hindi nasama. Wala ding depreciation. Anyhow, we'll just be sticking with the fixed cost na binigay nila. So if you remember, the break-even point in terms of sales is computed as follows. Fixed cost divided by contribution margin. For the fixed cost, we will be using the 17,150. And then we will be using, for the contribution margin, we will be using the 34.08. 09%. Try natin kung mag-compute ba siya. Equals okay, hindi. Sulat natin ulit. Hindi siya na-detect ng ng iPad. Wala, hindi na-detect. Okay, let's use some calculator. Saan na ba yung calculator? Okay, so we have 17,150 divided by 0.3409. Okay, 50. 50. Okay. So, our monthly BEP is 50,308. So, be reminded that pag sinabing BEP, zero profit, zero losses. So, once ma-hit natin tong level of sales na to in 1 month, hindi na tayo mag-aabono. But of course, wala din tayong profit. Okay. So, the next question will be, Sir, in relation to the BEP, nahi-hit ba ni client ang number na ito? The answer is no, because their sales is only 31,427 last month. Okay? So, versus 31,427. So, mas malaki si BEP. Therefore, ang conclusion natin dito is net losses yung operation nila. Kaya, nag-aabono sila. This is the very reason bakit kailangan nilang mag-abono, kailangan nilang kumuha ng pera sa savings nila or mangutang, I don't know. Because they are operating, their sales is way below than the monthly break-even point. Now, the next question would be, Sir, anong pwede natin gawin? So, in identifying kung ano yung pwede mong gawin, you can go back to the basic formula of the break-even point. The break-even point is fixed cost divided by selling price minus the variable cost. By the way, itong nasa baba na to, this is our contribution margin. So, tatlong factors, fixed cost, selling price, and variable cost. So, I'll be suggesting 4 ways that we can address this concern. Number 1 is to lower down our fixed cost. As much as possible, kung kaya pa nating bawasan yung mga fixed cost natin, gaya ng sweldo, okay? Or kung meron kang rent, since wala naman silang rent, the electricity, the what you call this, the tubig, then that is one way to lower down the break-even point. And once lower down yung break-even point, we will be closer and closer to our actual sales. Okay? So that's one thing. The second thing is to reduce your variable cost. So the variable cost is basically our raw materials and ingredients. If you can find a way to lower down your production cost, it will increase our contribution margin and lower down our break-even point. So that is the second way. The third way is to simply increase your selling price. If you increase your selling price, it will increase the contribution margin, and once tumaas si contribution margin, bababa si break-even point. Again, ang pinaka-goal natin is to lower down our break-even point so that it will be lower than our actual sales. Okay, so those are the 3 things na pwede mong gawin in relation to the break-even point. Another thing that you can also do, which is the fourth one, is to simply increase your actual sales. Kung ayaw mong gawin ang fixed cost, ang selling price, or ang variable cost, find ways to increase your actual sales. Either create some marketing. Of course, if you will be doing some marketing, tataas naman tong fixed cost mo. But if the cost to the expense related to marketing will increase your actual sales drastically, na kahit nagbayad ka for marketing pero tataas naman yung actual sales compared to the break-even point, then you will still be in a winning scenario for that. And by the way, before I forget, sa computation na ito, we have not factored in taxes. Okay? So, if we factor in taxes, okay, so balik tayo sa BEP, 17,150. And then, yung contribution margin niya kanina is, ang ginamit natin, 34.09. If we will be lowering it down, babawasan natin yan ng 8%. Yung 8% is ano siya, magiging ano to, ano tawag dito? Provision for taxes. So, if we will take into account taxes, so from 34, magiging, ano na lang siya, magiging 26.09%. This will now give us a break-even point of 17,150 divided by 0.2609. 65,734. 65,734. 65,734. I don't know if registered business na ito, but if we will be factoring in the provision for taxes from 50,308, the break-even point will drastically increase to 65,734. Okay, so the odds are actually against the business owner in this case. Kailangan niya maghanap ng diskarte to lower down the fixed cost, increase the selling price, lower down the variable cost, increase the actual sales. Or if talagang hindi na mahanapan ng paraan, then probably just close down the business and try to reset, save some money, and subok ulit ng other business in the future. Okay, so there you have it. The walkthrough of the performance of that particular business. So, it's actually, well, for me, it's quite simple, no? But